Hey y'all, I don't have an audience today because my roommate isn't here, so my sweet teddy bear is actually going to be my audience. So, I don't know about y'all, but I really love Italian food. And have you ever gone to the grocery store and gotten that cheap box of noodles and it not been the texture or the type that you thought it was going to be and you desired for it to be? Well, I've done that many a times and I don't like doing that. So, to solve that issue, I just started making my own noodles. So today I'm going to teach you how to make your own noodles from scratch. So before we get started, you are going to need a few ingredients. So the first ingredient you're going to need is some kind of flour. You can use whatever kind of flour you desire. I use all-purpose flour because it's basically the cheapest flour and you can get it in bulk for pretty cheap. So you can use any type of flour you want. You're going to need 4 large eggs. So farm raised, whatever you want, 4 large eggs. Olive oil, not a lot of it, just a little bit of olive oil, and a teaspoon of sea salt. Not a tablespoon, a teaspoon. So when you get all your ingredients, get your large cutting board, and you're gonna put your flour on the cutting board. But then what I suggest that you do is put a little bowl to the side with flour because you're gonna need to sprinkle some on it to keep everything from sticking. So get your flour on your cutting board, a little bit more flour in the bowl, and you're gonna have a mound, but you wanna make a well in the mound, kind of like a volcano. So make a volcano in your dough, just twist it around with your fingers to make a little circle, and you're gonna crack open your eggs, put the eggs in, throw the shells away. So what you're gonna do with the eggs, you're gonna wanna sprinkle a little bit of olive oil, not a lot, just a little bit of olive oil on top of your eggs and that teaspoon of sea salt. So you're gonna grab a fork out of your cupboard and you're gonna whisk your eggs together as best as you can. I like my eggs really whisked, so I go a little extra with my eggs. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna start mixing your flour with your eggs, like mixing it all together. You do this until it gets smooth. It takes a little while. If you don't have enough flour, add a little bit more flour until you get your eggs doughy. So then once you get everything combined, you're gonna have to knead your dough. So I suggest kneading for 10 minutes. Yes, it gets tiring, but it gets it to where it needs to be, to the desired thickness and everything. So you fold your dough until it's all combined and then you begin kneading it. So do it for like 10 minutes or until it's smooth. Your elbows, everything you need, you start kneading that dough until it's smooth. Once your dough is all kneaded, you're gonna roll it up into a big ball. Grab some plastic wrap and you're gonna wrap your dough up, okay? Wrap it up really tight. You're not gonna put it in your refrigerator, you're not gonna put it in the freezer, outside, anything. You're gonna leave it on that kitchen counter where you're working, in your workspace, for 30 minutes. I leave it a little longer than 30 minutes, but leave it there for at least 30 minutes, okay? So, wash off your cutting board, whatever you wanna do for that 30 minutes until 30 minutes is up. Really want to get that to y'all. 30 minutes, okay? So after 30 minutes, you're gonna get your dough back out, you're gonna take the plastic wrap off of it, you're gonna put it on that cutting board, okay? So when it's on that cutting board, you're gonna remove the wrap and everything, and you're gonna cut it into 4 wedges, okay? But just 4 wedges, and then you're gonna only keep one out. You're gonna put your other 3 wedges back in your plastic wrap, okay? Because you don't want them to dry out and be gross. So after you do that, you're gonna get that 1 wedge you've cut out and you're going to roll it out with a rolling pin until your desired thickness of your noodle. So then after you get it to your desired thickness, you're going to cut that into 5-inch sections, okay? So with those 5-inch sections, you're going to roll those out into a flat, a loose cylinder type thing, and then you're going to spin it around until it's in what's called a pasta nest. Just spin it around kind of like a noodle and you let it sit there and dry. But before you let it dry, you want to sprinkle flour all over where you're letting them dry, because you're gonna leave it there for 30 minutes and I just don't really want mine sitting on my kitchen counter by itself. So sprinkle a little flour. So after you've done that with all 4 of your sections, you've cut them all into 5-inch pieces, you've spun them around and you sit them on your kitchen counter in your dough for 30 minutes. You let them dry. Then to save your dough and your noodles, you can put them into an airtight container after they've dried. You can refrigerate them for up to 2 days or freeze them for up to 2 weeks. What I suggest to do is after a few days, 5 or 6 days, in the freezer, thaw them out, invite your friends over. If you're 21, crack open a bottle of rosé. If not, get some Cokes And then use your fresh pasta. Make an amazing pasta marinara, which is my favorite, and share with all your friends and enjoy your time with them.